In today's behavior, and to make things easy to understand, we'll be using Meghan Markle as a real-world example. We'll also explore what someone like Harry often experiences when they're closely connected to a narcissist, and how those emotional patterns can quietly take over a relationship. One of the earliest red flags is what psychologists call the affection switch. At first, everything feels warm and loving, until the moment the partner finally lets their guard down and starts falling in love. That's when a narcissist suddenly withdraws affection, leaving the partner wondering what went wrong, questioning themselves, or even doubting their own sanity. Why? Because healthy relationships need consistency, and consistency is the one thing a narcissist never gives. They thrive in chaos, unpredictability, and emotional confusion. When it comes to Meghan, many observers claim she uses calmness almost like a weapon, the controlled smiles, the composed face, all while allegedly provoking Harry with psychological games. One example often mentioned is her decision to wear jewelry from a previous relationship while refusing to wear one of the most meaningful symbols of her marriage, the engagement ring Harry designed himself. Reporters quickly noticed when she appeared in public wearing only her wedding band, with the engagement ring missing yet again. Her usual explanation: it's being repaired. But those close to her suggest she simply doesn't like the ring Harry created, constantly redesigning it as if it's a phone that needs upgrades. Around the same time, she was even seen openly chatting and flirting with Serena Williams' husband during a match. Awkward, considering she publicly calls Serena her best friend. And let's not forget the viral moment when Serena was asked about Meghan, and acted like she barely knew who she was. All of this isn't random. These behaviors create emotional power, leaving Harry in a constant state of uncertainty. You'll often see Meghan pushing ahead of him, shifting herself to the center of the frame, or showing visible irritation in his presence. It's manipulation in full display, and most people don't even notice it happening. Another major trait of narcissists is their obsession with image. They live for how others perceive them. Every move, every gesture, every interview is carefully crafted for public approval. If they must bend the truth or exaggerate their accomplishments to protect their image, they will. For Meghan, this pattern appears frequently. She positioned herself as a victim of a difficult childhood, of sexism, of racism, narratives that would naturally activate Harry's protective instincts. This emotional angle helped strengthen her bond with him and build a story that the public might sympathize with. She also projected herself as a self-made, independent woman by claiming she paid her own college tuition. But her father, Thomas Markle, insists he covered most of it. Meghan describes scholarships, financial aid, and campus work, but her story has been repeatedly challenged. Then there's the famous detergent commercial incident. Meghan has long implied that her letter at age 11 pushed the company to change their sexist phrasing. But records show the company had already changed the commercial before her letter even arrived. Still, she retells the story as if she single-handedly sparked a corporate revolution. This fits a common narcissistic theme, seeing themselves as special, heroic, or uniquely influential, even when the story doesn't match reality. Another behavior is love bombing, a tactic where narcissists overwhelm someone with affection, praise, and intensity so the person's emotional defenses collapse. When a partner hesitates, a narcissist simply increases the pressure, doubling down on attention and charm. We often see Meghan doing this with Harry. She stares at him with intense affection, constantly touches him, clings to him during public events, and frequently defers to him in interviews, but in a way that keeps him emotionally tied. To the outside world, it looks romantic. Inside, Harry might feel overwhelmed, but he can't say a word. Her love bombing was reportedly so effective that Harry fell extremely fast, barely showing resistance, something he later admitted himself when talking about their early dates and shared experiences. From experience, narcissists increase love bombing right before they take full control. That seems to be exactly what happened here. Meghan leads, Harry follows, and he doesn't even realize the shift. Narcissists also struggle deeply with criticism. To them, criticism is a threat to their identity. So they respond in two predictable ways. Manipulate the situation, reframing themselves as the victim. Cut people off completely, eliminating anyone who challenges them. Meghan has done both. She frequently turns public criticism into accusations of racism or sexism, shifting attention away from her actions and onto a broader national or cultural debate. This tactic takes the focus off the actual issue and places it onto the audience's emotions instead. She has also cut out many people from her life. Her father, childhood friends, old colleagues, and even friends of Harry who voiced concerns. Narcissists keep only the people who praise them without question. Another powerful trait: attention seeking. Narcissists crave attention the way others crave air. and Meghan is constantly criticized for behaviors that appear driven by the need to be center stage. In the royal family, she would always be behind someone, and that was reportedly unacceptable for her. Observers have pointed out times where she rushed ahead of Harry or displayed irritation when he received more attention. One of the most talked about incidents was when she overshadowed Princess Eugenie's wedding by announcing her pregnancy to the family on the same day, something Harry later confirmed in his memoir Spare. These patterns continued even after leaving the royal family. When Princess Kate returned to the public after cancer treatment, a moment that drew global attention, a teaser for Meghan and Harry's Netflix project suddenly dropped within hours. The timing raised eyebrows everywhere. She says she wants privacy, yet her actions repeatedly create large waves of publicity. Even subtle gestures, like constantly pushing her coat back to emphasize her baby bump for photographers, appear carefully calculated. Then there's using and discarding people. Narcissists keep individuals around only as long as they serve a purpose. Once they're no longer useful, they're pushed aside without hesitation. Many people claim Meghan did this to them. Celebrities like Piers Morgan, former friends like Lizzie Cundy, colleagues, ex-assistants, childhood acquaintances, even extended family. The pattern is consistent: intense closeness at first, followed by sudden rejection. Critics also believe she used Harry to elevate her public status, gaining global recognition overnight. She has a long reputation for forming fast connections and then cutting ties just as quickly. Another defining trait: entitlement. Narcissists feel they deserve special treatment simply because of who they believe they are. Meghan has often been associated with this mindset. She wants royal privileges without the obligations that come with them. She expects top-tier opportunities, special attention, and elevated status, even when it conflicts with long-standing royal tradition. There were also reports of extensive demands for events, including insisting their children attend, requesting prime positions during royal ceremonies, and even asking for a spot on the Buckingham Palace balcony, typically reserved for working royals. She behaves as if the monarchy should bend to her preferences, and if it doesn't, she frames it as unfair or outdated. She once complained about wearing pantyhose because it wasn't her style, despite royal protocol requiring it, turning a minor rule into a moment of personal oppression. This is classic narcissistic entitlement, the belief that rules don't apply to them. These traits are essential to recognize early, especially if you want to avoid getting trapped in a damaging relationship. Narcissists create emotional wounds that take years to heal, and the sooner you notice these signs, the quicker you can protect yourself. Which of these behaviors stood out the most to you? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more celebrity deep dives and psychological breakdowns.